gave a shit about the poll. All right. I was down almost $7,000 today. Not the biggest, not the biggest deal in the world, but you feel like shit. You're stressed. You don't know what's happening. Do you start to lose confidence? Do you start to get upset? Do you start sizing up? Do you start tilting? I look around me. Some other people are having a hard day. Some other people are having great days. What should I do? Can I really just walk away from my computer? Can I really just shut it off and walk away? Is that even possible? Today I'm going to open your eyes into what I call NMGs, or Newsbeat micro goals. A micro goal, a Newsbeat micro goal is basically taking a very simplistic Newsbeat strategy and exploiting it to regain the confidence in which you temporarily lost. It is very common for the most consistent traders in the industry to go red and come back. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't recall the last time I had a red day. It's happened. I just don't remember when. Didn't happen last month. Um, didn't happen today, but it almost happened today. And I came back from it. So instead of telling you that you just have to stick with your game planning, what you wrote down on paper, that's a lie. The truth is, most people, when they write down a game plan, they can't really follow it. It's good to have a game plan that tells you what you do best, what you can do, what you can't do, and there's something to be said by that. But unfortunately, 98% of traders fail, and 98% of traders who write these game plans also fail. So, what is it about tilting with a red P&L? Well, psychologically speaking, your brain interprets a red P&L the same way it would fight or flight. So the longer you're sitting in front of your screen with a red P&L, the more likely you are to do a stupid trade. This is actually part of the old human brain that has been ingrained into you for, as far as we know, 140,000 years, give or take, 10,000 years or so. So this has been part of the earliest humanoids where the fight or flight response kicks in. The problem is when you're sitting there waiting patiently for a setup with a red P&L, your body is still in fight or flight. You're actually going through a war that's never ending in real time. You keep going through the war. Um, my P&L was down 7 grand, and you're going through a war by just sitting there and waiting for an opportunity. It's hard because if you don't walk away from your computer, you're literally in a losing battle in a war. In war, when you're in a losing battle and things get desperate, you sort of have to go into a situation where a lot of times your back is to the wall and you do what's called a last ditch effort. And a lot of people do this last ditch effort in trading in order to make their money back. A lot of times it fails, and then it leads to some of the worst days you can ever have. What if I told you there was a way to combat this intelligently? What if I told you, instead of just what most people say, just walk away and shut down your machine, which sounds lovely. Again, I would venture to say that about 99% of people can't do that. And I commend the people who can. I mean, I have no choice. I'm running a broadcast. I work here. But what can you do to actually claw back to your day in an intelligent manner? This is what I'm going to call Newsbeat micro goals. As you conquer your micro goals, you're going to have more of a reason to smile. Studies have shown you can literally rewire your brain to produce more dopamine, which is your feel good chemical, by setting these micro goals. The dopamine release increases your happiness, and as you tick off your micro goals again and again, you'll have a steady supply. And one of the main reasons people quit as traders is our goals, our goals as a trader, is that we lack self-esteem. We attach negative thoughts to our objectives of trading consistently. I can't do it. It's too hard. It'll never get done. I'm stupid. I'm a failure. How many people have ever had any one of those five thoughts or more in their head? Shit, I have. It's not a good feeling. Flip the narrative. If you're happy in seeing results, you'll be more likely to continue to the finish line. Micro goals provide less chance for you as a failure in trading. For example, when it comes to trading and I was down money, I stopped and I looked at what was actually causing me to lose money, for example. And, some of the things were like NVIDIA early. I teared down on a one and done in NVIDIA. Some people bought it early on and it got a little choppy here and I lost modest amount of money. If I remember correctly, $700 at this point, right in the morning in the first minute. Then I was going over to Tesla and looking at Tesla for a pullback here and maybe trying something like this right over here, which popped a little and then dropped and really didn't do much. I was getting poor price improvement. I went ahead and I slammed into this drop box right here pretty effing hard. I was actually, I believe, the high print on the 31 and a half calls. I believe it was like 92 cents. I'm not looking, but I bought some contracts at the high of the day of the 31 and a half calls, and I forgot what I had, 100 or 200 of them. Not stupid heavy, but heavier. You were the high print. Oh, maybe I gave you the high print. Maybe I bought your calls. I was down money on maybe I was down money on Dropbox, and at this point, I think I was down 6,000, 6 to 7. I don't remember the exact number, but at this point, I'm down like $6,000 between Nvidia and Tesla and maybe something else, and then this early Dropbox news flow. I believe it was what was Dropbox? Wasn't Deal Reporter. It was some stupid Microsoft news or some shit. Don't even remember. Point being, I'm down money at that point. My dopamine supply stops. I'm not feeling too good. But when you hear me in the chat, I'm very optimistic. Okay, I've accepted it. First thing I do is accept the situation I'm in. All right? I'm down money. That's the first step. I'm down money. It's fine. Just going to wait for a better setup. But what I actually like to do is what I like to call Newsbeat micro goals. And for some of you listening, it's always going to be harder if you're under the PDT rule to follow this. There is a way to do it. We'll talk about that later. But yes, you are at a grave disadvantage under PDT. I don't even think that's an opinion anymore. You pretty much just have to live with the fact that if you're under PDT, you're at some form of a disadvantage because there's a limited number of trades you could do. So what I like to do is I like to do what I call Newsbeat micro goals. Micro goals, how many traders when they're down money, doesn't matter how much, whatever number is a lot for you, how many feel like you got to make all your money back right away? Like you start sizing up, all of a sudden you start taking, whether you take a good trade or a worse trade, you'll size up on it. How many people do that? I mean, I have been guilty more times than I have not been guilty of that in my past. So what I do to claw back, and just so we're clear, and I had one of my worst days in weeks that I can remember. I think I made like $1,600 today in the end. But the point of this show, the point of this show is to actually show you how I clawed back intelligently. So the first thing I did was just to note something with relative strength. My first step of a Newsbeat micro goal is, first of all, I'm going to be doing a Newsbeat strategy, which is great because it's some of the more consistent strategies I feel on the planet, and we give them to you for free. So what is a Newsbeat micro goal? I'm going to find a tight tradable name with the 2-minute 8 EMA being the highest moving average on my chart. And I'll explain that to you right now. So find a tight tradable name to find a with the 2-minute ADMA being the highest moving average on my chart. Now, what do I mean by tight? What do I mean by tight? By tight, I literally am referring to the spread between the bid and offer and something with a lot of volume. I want to do something with a lot of volume that has a very small spread between the bid and offer. So for example, if I want my 8 EMA to be the highest point, here's a 2-minute chart. For example, Facebook today, you'll notice early on, the yellow line is my 8 EMA. I have a exponential 21, an exponential 100, an exponential 55, a simple 200, and a VWAP. My exponential 8, or my 8 EMA, is the yellow line. All I want the stock is to do is to be trading above this yellow line. So after right around here, when I was down my, let's call it about 7 grand after 10, 15, not really, not really the best feeling in the world. Nothing that would really dent what I'm doing, but definitely feels like shit, and nothing will change that. Even if you make millions of dollars and you're down $10,000, it never feels good. You can't just say, well, you made millions. People like to write shit off like that. And a lot of the people in your life won't understand you that you're having a hard time. They'll be like, well, how are you doing on the month? They'll be like, oh, you're up on the month. So why do you care if you're down 10 grand on the day, or 20 grand, or 50 grand, or 5,000, or 6,000, right? Most people who are not traders don't understand the psychological aspects and detriments. So you can see right over here, for the first time after whatever 10:30, let's call it a.m. Eastern Standard, you'll notice that right over here, this yellow line is the highest. Notice that it wasn't before. As soon as that happens, I know I can switch over to a 1 minute and scalp it. So I'm going to just switch over to a 1 minute chart after 10:30. I could actually probably just show it to you on each end, but it'll be easier like this to show it to you. And after 10:30, what I literally do is I literally do what I call Newsbeat micro goals. So right over here, you'll notice on Facebook, it looks stupid, but this little 1 minute bar broke this by 11 cents. I don't recall, I've done several of these trades. All I'll do is look for Mark 1 strategies or know your limit strategies. And I'll just literally scalp very light, like, again, for each person it's different. It could be 100 shares for you. For me, it's a couple thousand shares of Facebook, just keeping it, tight. I mean, what am I going to lose? It's going to drop 10, 15 cents in my face in the worst case. I'm going to lose 200-300 bucks. More likely, if I'm wrong, I'm going to lose 5, 6 cents, probably closer to 120, $150 if I'm wrong. But if I'm right and I catch something coming up like this over here that moves 25 cents, I could catch a quick dime. And what I did was I was literally chopping away, and this was a weird example. It actually got easier later in the day as Facebook really started rallying after 2 o'clock. Here's when I actually started. I was still down by that point, but even like right over here, this little stupid move here, I think it caught like 9 cents on 2,000 shares on, this, made 180, and this is a 1 minute chart, just so we're clear. Made a quick 180 bucks. Hits the 21 moving average, buy right here. Stock moved 43 cents. I think I caught a quarter. 2,000 shares, 25 cents, quick 500 bucks. And just like that, just waiting for a moving average to hit, which is a know your limit strategy, what we teach you for free. Just knowing that I could take small victories is going to give me my confidence back. And my confidence wasn't really too shattered, just so we're clear. I've been building up my psychological fortitude for a while. 98%, 97, 96% of my trading career would have been shattered from that. But still, I had to claw back. So Just little trades like that, little 2,000 share trades. MRIN, little psychotic name that exploded today and got halted. It's one of the names on our watch list. Literally, had a $8.50 range, approximately $8.43. Just doing like little 1 minute scalps on MRIN, catching 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents on every minute bar, hyper scalping, just literally just going back to my bread and butter and setting the goals so small. But the key is not that I was making $100, $200 or losing a few $100s or whatever. The key was I was keeping it tight and I was just focused on building back my confidence. That was my number one objective. Small goals in the market give you more control. If something doesn't work, it is effortless to switch gears and try something else. You've wasted less time, you've wasted less effort, and thus you improved your efficiency. If you're tired of having trading goals that you can never finish, try incorporating Newsbeat micro goals into your routine. It is possible to accomplish the things you've dreamed of. I have people to this day who are just scalping, doing this little 1, 2 minute things, waiting on higher conviction ones. And, they come to me and they're like, Mark, you know what? I was thinking, maybe I have to do this, this, this. And I'm like, why do I have to do that? I'm coming in, I'm doing the first mark one every day, and I'm leaving. There are people who left at 9:30, 1 a.m. today, 9:32, 9:33, 9:34, 9:35. Literally, they worked 1 to 5 minutes and left the room because they just catch these little things. They're like, they could take a little trade, they can make their, 200, 300, 500,000, $2,000, and they are done. And they are done. And just so we are clear, yeah, here is our disclaimer. Thank you for reading our disclaimer. Don't forget to download our free psychological toxicity ebook, How to Overcome It. Don't forget. So, by literally attacking the market in a micro way, it's not even about sizing down, it's just really about not sizing up. So I'll give you an example. I was scalping Nvidia options and Tesla options. The price improvement was awful. To give you an example, like I bought, I'll make up the scenario, but it's similar because I'm not going to go look at the exact penny to the amount I lost. But like I bought Nvidia calls. Nvidia went up like 70 cents and I marketed out and I think I lost like, you know, 25 cents. And I'm like, what? That's not a good feeling to be right and lose. So immediately I just went back to the bread and butter, scalping stocks, chopping my day away. And that was really the key. And you could do it on some of the tightest names. Like I think I did it on AMD. Was it today? I think it was yesterday too. No, like today on AMD. Oh God, this stupid print after hours makes it hard to show the charts. Even like right over here on AMD. Today, like it pulled back to the 21. You just look for the next 1 minute breakout and it literally popped 6 cents here. I kid you not. I think I caught like 3, 4 cents. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it's a perfect example because you could do so many of these trades and they're so easy. And you scalp 2, 3 cents and 2.5 cents, and you make $50 on a couple thousand shares. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of money when you're down 7 grand. It's not a lot of money. When you're at zero and you're trying to build your account, yeah, $50 is great. But I could do this shit all day, blindfolded with one hand tied behind my back. So for me, the Newsbeat C strategy is like 1 minute know your limits. If you're set, what I do is it's almost like think of it when you're down money. Instead of turning into, bloodthirsty Rambo and start sizing up and doubling down and tilting, instead just put your beer goggles on. That's what I do at that point. I put on my beer goggles and it's like everything is doable all of a sudden. Things that didn't look good to me before all of a sudden look hot as F. Holy shit. Wow. Damn, look at you with that 1 minute setup. Damn, AMD, looking cute. Damn, when did you come around, AMD? Facebook? Is that a 17-cent move in Facebook? Damn, you're looking all fine and stuff. Where were you? You weren't sitting next to me this entire time. Come on, stop. I didn't see you like this before. Can I get your support level? That's what I do. I literally stop and I put on my beer goggles and I basically, you know what it's like? I just put on my beer goggles and I just want to F around with everything in my path, just like steamroll all that shit. It's crazy. In a positive way though, not like a negative way. But to this strategy, the key is that you're keeping your risk low. Where if you mark it in and mark it out, there's a low likelihood that you're going to get slammed. And I'm doing these trades sometimes for seconds, sometimes a minute, sometimes 30 seconds. And I just set my expectations really low. And it's kind of nuts because I was able to chop my ass back. And I also want to point out, like when it doesn't work, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I went from like negative 7,000. I went from like negative 7,000 to like negative 2,000 to negative 3,000, negative 4,000, negative 5,000. So just keep in mind that the whole point wasn't to make the money back. That was just sort of the side effect of it. The point, the point was to gain my confidence back or feel better about being in the war zone. It's almost like you're used to going out and having like fancy dinners, but when you're in that war zone and you're down money, like I'll catch that rat, cook it up and eat it over there, I'll eat like you'll just do anything. You're in like war mode, but you don't want to tilt. You don't want to like jump up out of your hole with like Rambo and two machine guns and go and like, you know, try to go out in a blaze of glory. It's almost like you guys remember from the Matrix Mouse when they caught him in the room and he turned around with the two Tommy guns and he shot before he died. He turned around and he went out in like a blaze of glory when he was stuck on that floor in that room, remember? That's what a lot of traders do. Me, I'd rather just literally, go inside the shopping mall, jump in the fountain, and start picking up coins from the fountain. He totally YOLO'd. Like, that's how I feel. And you know what? A lot of times I just do this anyway. Like, if I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for news flow and it's like, okay, you got a little 1 minute setup here, guys. Like, a lot of times, like, on these even like a Nvidia, sometimes I catch like 30, 40, 50, 60 cents in a Nvidia, just like scalping like 1,000 shares of Nvidia. And I do take losses too. That's why I mentioned I don't want to make it seem like all my things are wins, but what it does is when you're down 7,000, your whole psychology is everything is so big around you. And you're like, you want to like slam into something, get back. But what I do is I decrease my world to this size. I decrease the world very small, and I know I'm not going to get hurt. Now, strategies like this happen to work best with free commission brokers. Um, Prop traders can also make this strategy work by trading some of the thicker names. Like, if I was prop, I wouldn't do AMD with this strategy, but I would do Tesla, Facebook, Nvidia. I would do those sorts of names under prop because it's much it's much easier to catch 20, 30 cents on Tesla than it is to catch 20, 30 cents on Facebook, I feel. Um, But just keep things relatively tight, especially, keep things relatively tight, and you could just literally scalp your day. You could literally almost create something from nothing because the way the market works now is even in the middle of the, I'm not going to talk about the morning bars, which are huge and over $1 long, but even the 1 minute bars here, I mean, look at some of these bars. They're 40 cents long. They're 49 cents long. You're trading a Tesla. And I don't want to go in the morning with the biggest bars. I know the opportunity is there, but even like a Tesla, like some of these bars are like $1 long. Like this bar right here is $1.17. This bar right here is $1.08 long. Some of them 50, 60, 70, 80 cents long. It sounds crazy, but that's like money. And some of you might be looking at this and thinking, oh my goodness, is this what I have to do all day? You don't have to do anything. I'm not telling you to do anything. But at the same time, I am talking to you um, from easily, I don't think anybody inside the room would argue the most consistent trading room out there. And one of the reasons why we do these things is to get back on track. I know it's very easy for me to say, shut off your system, you hit your stop loss, enter a trade, set your level, set your profit level, set your risk level, set your stop levels. And if you lose, you lose and you come back tomorrow. I know that's very easy to say, but I also know the vast, overwhelming majority, rounded up to the nearest 10%, 100% of you cannot walk away from your computer when you're down money. In order for you to walk away from your computer when you're down money, you have to beat yourself even further. So if you're down, for example, if I was down if you're down $5,000 and that's big for you, you're not walking away until you're down like $15,000. You're not leaving until you really punch yourself and knock your ass out. If you're sitting there all bruised and bloody, you're going to make sure that your ass blows the F out or you're going to make your money back. One of those two things will happen. And very few people can get up and walk away. I know some of you are just sitting there thinking, just get up and I need to get up and walk away. Good effing luck doing that. Tell me how that works for you. Tell me how standing up and walking away actually helped you accomplish your goals. Tell me how that ended up working for you. And it's not because you're undisciplined, it's because you're a human being. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to embrace the point of you being a human being. And as opposed to just telling you, oh, just go ahead and walk away, which is very hard for you to do, I'd rather say, wait a second, let's be intelligent. Let's do something that we could scalp our money back in. Your success will be determined by your own confidence and fortitude. And if you can master one of these little 1 minute easy strategies, which we share with you for free in the Newsbeat live room, you can fight these negative days. It's not that horrible. Confidence in a trader is the feeling and the ability to feel beautiful without needing someone to tell you. You are a beautiful, strong person. Confidence is a habit that can be developed by acting as if you had the confidence you desire to have. And by going and getting down and grimy when you need to is always a positive thing. And if you're afraid of making a mistake, I'll tell you this, a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new in their life. Ask for what you want and be prepared to get it because that's what trading is. It's an infinite pool of money. Anything they've taken away from you, there's an infinite amount to take back, and there's an infinite amount to be taking away. Confidence, I don't feel really is optimism or pessimism. Most people, if I ask you, is confidence optimism or pessimism? How many of you would say, well, it's optimism, right? To be confident, it's optimistic, right? Wrong. It's not optimistic. Confidence isn't optimism or pessimism. And guess what? It's not even one of your character attributes. Oh, he's a confident person. It's part of his character. Bullshit. Oh, he's confident. He's an optimistic person. Maybe, but bullshit. And that correlation, he's a pessimistic person. Yeah, not really. That's not fitting. Confidence isn't optimism, pessimism, and it's not a character attribute. It's the expectation expectation of a positive outcome. And in order for you to reinforce that expectation, you would be surprised when you're down $7,000 what $100 in profit can do for you. It opens up sort of a light at the end of the tunnel. It shows you that you could do this shit. Self-confidence is the best outfit. Rock it and own it. And I will tell you, how does a trader feel when he's up $10,000 and he finishes the day up $1,000? That trader feels like shit. You want to know who feels better than that trader? A trader who's down $10,000 and finishes the day negative $1,000. That trader feels like $1,000,000. You see the difference? Because the person who went from 10,000, you might say, well, $1,000 is more than negative 1,000. If I told you, who would you rather be? You'd say, I'd rather be the person who made $1,000 and lose a negative 1,000. Believe me, as a longer term trader, you would not want to be that person. Trust me. Trust me. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. And you would be shocked what $100 can do for you when you're down 5, 6, 7 grand. It is, it is, it could completely change your day. What you think of yourself and your abilities is more important than what others think of you. This sort of thing breeds confidence. Your confidence will be attained very easily. Your confidence is not to cater to the whims of Wall Street, where 98% of people fail. Do you think are you listening now thinking I instill false confidence in people? Do you think that? In a world where 98% of people fail? Just a little poll we've done recently. 79% of people were confident that they're going to make money tomorrow. And I'll tell you right now, you don't have to be this perfect. Here are the rules. Here are your rules of trading. Trading is about rules and structure. Sure. In some senses, you want to know the biggest rule of trading? Better yourself as a human being and you'll better yourself as a trader. Nobody's perfect. I may not be the most I don't know, beautiful person in the world, but I'll tell you this. I may not be the most beautiful, the sexiest man in the world with the perfect body, but I don't pretend to be someone I'm not. I'm good at being me. I might not be proud of some of the things I have done in the past, but I'm proud of who I am today. And that is a person who has grown from his mistakes and spends his time today trying to teach others how to avoid them, the same mistakes that I have made. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen, as traders, you are imperfect, permanently and inevitably flawed. And you know what I think of you? I think you're absolutely beautiful, each and every one of you. And learning the simplest things to get you to where you need to be by doing these little Newsbeat micro goals. I do not remember the last time I had a negative day. And there's nothing wrong with having a negative day. I would have been fine with a negative day today. The point being is once you master these things, you can accomplish anything. Okay? I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat Micro Goal Show, the true way to climb out of a hole. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Links in the description for everything we do. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful trading day.